Welcome. Today's discussion highlights how enterprises can pivot their AI initiatives to maximize ROI. With leading AI vendors, OpenAI, Microsoft, Google, AWS, IBM in the landscape, we'll see why adapting your AI strategy mid-course can make the difference between success and failure. Notably, over 80% of AI projects fail to realize their promised outcomes, so knowing when and how to pivot is a critical executive skill. An AI pivot means reorienting an ongoing AI project, changing its scope, application, or approach to better align with business objectives. This isn't a failure, it's a strategic course correction. Often pivots are prompted by signals like poor ROI, breakthrough technologies, think how ChatGPT's debut spurred pivots toward generative AI, or external changes like new regulations. The goal is to turn an AI initiative into something that truly serves the business, even if it's different from the original plan. We see 4 impactful pivot scenarios repeatedly. First, pivoting from predictive analytics to automation. Companies realize predictions alone aren't enough, so they embed AI to automate decisions. For example, going from forecasting demand to automatically adjusting inventory levels. Second, shifting customer-facing AI to back-end AI. Some firms found consumer chatbots underwhelming and pivoted those AI capabilities to internal processes for bigger gains. Third, regulatory adaptation. As laws like GDPR or new AI acts emerge, projects pivot to compliant approaches, like swapping a black box model for an explainable one to satisfy regulators. Finally, scaling from pilot to production. Many organizations get stuck in pilot purgatory, with 1/3 of companies only piloting AI and not operationalizing it. A pivot here means redesigning and integrating the solution for full deployment. How do you know it's time to pivot? Data and evidence. If your AI's performance metrics have stalled or are missing targets, it's a red flag. Perhaps you expected a 20% efficiency gain but see only 5%. If costs are rising without commensurate benefits, that's another trigger. A survey found CIOs often struggle to scale AI due to unclear success metrics and cost concerns. User adoption is crucial. When users avoid an AI system you built, for example, employees find a forecasting tool cumbersome and revert to Excel. The low uptake tells you the solution missed the mark. And of course, risk assessments. Say an AI starts showing bias or a new regulation makes your data practice untenable. It's time to pivot to a safer, compliant approach. Let's illustrate predictive to automation. A retailer had an AI predicting product demand accurately. Yet that insight alone didn't fix stockouts on shelves. Predictions sat in reports without timely action. The pivot was to close the loop. Feed predictions into an automated ordering system and dynamic pricing engine. For instance, if AI forecasts a surge in demand for a product, the system automatically increases the restock orders or adjusts prices. By pivoting to automation, the retailer moved from knowing what might happen to actually responding in real time. This reduced stockouts significantly and improved inventory turnover by double digits. The lesson: if your AI is just creating dashboards, ask how it can drive actions for tangible ROI. In this case, a bank launched an AI chatbot to serve customers directly, but feedback was poor. Customers found it limited and frustrating for complex issues. Instead of scrapping AI entirely, they pivoted it to a back-end assistant for human agents. The chatbot tech was retooled to suggest answers to the support team and to triage inquiries, EEG, highlighting if a VIP customer's complaint needs urgent escalation. Customers no longer had to interact with a mediocre bot, but they still reaped the benefits. Quicker, more informed service, because the agents were augmented by AI behind the scenes. This pivot from front-of-house to back-office AI turned a failing initiative into a productivity booster, improving customer satisfaction indirectly through better service. Regulation can make or break an AI project. Consider an insurance company using a complex AI model to approve or deny claims. It improved efficiency, but neither customers nor regulators could understand its decisions, a black box that raised fairness concerns. When a new insurance regulation demanded transparency in automated decisions, the company pivoted. They replaced or retrained the model to be explainable, for example, a rules-based ML or interpretable model that could show which factors led to denial. This pivot did sacrifice a few points of predictive accuracy, but it ensured compliance and avoided legal risks. More importantly, it rebuilt stakeholder trust, as now adjusters could explain decisions to customers and regulators could audit the criteria. The key takeaway: sometimes you pivot not for more profit, but to reduce risk and ensure longevity of the AI initiative under new rules. Many AI projects excel in a lab or pilot, but stumble at scale. Here, a manufacturer had a successful pilot using AI to predict equipment failures on one production line. It caught breakdowns 2 hours early in tests. Great. But when they tried to roll it out to all factories, they hit pilot purgatory. Data from different sites was inconsistent. The maintenance staff didn't trust or understand the alerts, and IT systems weren't ready to deploy updates on hundreds of machines. The pivot was strategic scaling. Instead of a big bang rollout, they formed an AI center of excellence to guide a phased expansion factory by factory. They upgraded data pipelines so each machine's data could be centralized and cleaned, and invested in user training, teaching maintenance crews how to use and trust the AI's predictions. This course correction took time, but it paid off. The project moved beyond the prototype stage, achieving company-wide adoption and solid ROI. Listen. Scaling isn't just turning up the volume. You often must pivot your implementation strategy to account for real-world complexity. Different industries have learned hard lessons from AI pivots that retailers and all sectors can leverage. In finance, strict regulations taught banks to value explainability. If a cutting-edge trading AI misbehaves or regulators frown, banks pivot to a compliant approach. Quality governance beats hype. In healthcare, you must pilot cautiously. IBM's Watson for Oncology promised to revolutionize cancer treatment, but it famously failed and had to retreat after recommending unsafe treatments. The healthcare lesson: pivot or pull the plug early if an AI can't meet critical standards. Lives are at stake. Logistics and manufacturing illustrate balancing innovation with realism. Elon Musk admitted Tesla's over-automation was a mistake, proclaiming, "Excessive automation at Tesla was a mistake. Humans are underrated." In other words, pivoting sometimes means adding humans back into the loop for better outcomes. Lastly, across industries, we see many small AI pilots that never scale. The way out is a disciplined approach to expansion. Don't run 50 isolated experiments. Design a path to production from day one. These cross-industry insights help any enterprise anticipate when a pivot is prudent. Finally, how do you pivot in practice with minimal pain? First, define success metrics from the start, whether it's reduction in processing time or increase in revenue. Ensure the team knows the goalposts. This clarity makes it obvious when you are not hitting them and need a change. Next, continuous monitoring is essential. Have a cadence, weekly, monthly, to check the AI's performance and user feedback. The best companies create feedback loops so that minor issues are spotted before they become major failures. Embrace a fail fast, pivot faster mindset. As one tech leader put it, it's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn and pivot quickly. Also, any pivot needs people on board. Explain to your team and stakeholders why you're changing course, that it's an improvement, not an admission of defeat. Finally, manage the change thoughtfully. Pivot in stages and keep what's working. For example, if your AI model is fine, but the application is wrong, you might keep the core tech, but apply it elsewhere, rather than scrapping everything. This ensures continuity and preserves value while you course correct. In conclusion, succeeding with AI isn't about stubbornly sticking to a plan. It's about being adaptive and decisive. The best leaders treat AI projects as learning journeys. When the winds shift, they pivot fast to keep ROI on track and risks managed. Each pivot we discussed was aimed at extracting more value, whether through higher efficiency, better compliance, or greater user adoption. HIGTM is here to assist you in these complex decisions. As experts in AI go-to-market strategy, we help organizations navigate pivots with data-driven insight and minimal disruption. Our call to action: if you're looking at your AI initiatives and wondering if they're on the right course, or if you suspect a pivot might be due, let's talk. We invite you to book a consultation with our HIGTM team to ensure your AI projects deliver maximum business impact. Thank you.